coming out of Sunderland around February. You've had time to reflect. How's that been for you over the last couple of months?
Yeah, listen, it's been a good time to be at home. We moved house actually about a week before I joined Sunderland up here in Scotland, so it wasn't the ideal time to be going away from home. And unfortunately, in our family at the moment, my niece is not very well, so it's been really important that I've been here for not only my wife and 3 children, but our extended family as well. So yeah, it's been a period where there's been a lot of thought, obviously, a lot of thinking about the period at Sunderland, but not just that, but the previous years as well, the experience gained and the learning experience from that. But the most important part for me at the moment is to be a dad and a husband and to be part of the family, if I'm honest, Christy.
Was the aim from maybe the qualities that you've learned from that youth development phase throughout your journey to really embed that within Sunderland with the team that you had?
Sunderland was very similar to the QPR squad. You know, Sunderland was built around Jack Clark and Pat Roberts as wide players with Niall Huggins and Trey Hume, 2 fullbacks getting round them. The QPR team was built the same, with Ethan Laird and Kenneth Powell going around Chris Willock and Ilias Chair. That was the style of play. Again, another young squad. So I went in there with the optimism of that. I went in on my own as well because I didn't start until maybe the 19th or 20th of December. There was 4 games in 10 days. So the agreement was always that I would bring an assistant at a later date. That never materialised. And I think the key thing in the discussions that I had with Sunderland before going in, and the owner, who's a really good guy, Kirill, and Christian Speakman, was that the team needed a striker. You know, they'd won 2 in 9 games under Tony Mowbray, but had a lot of the ball. That continued in mine in the league. We won 4, drew 2, lost 5 of 11, and I left in obviously the start of February. But from the moment I got in, it was clear that the fans were not aligned with the decision of letting Tony Mowbray go. They really liked Tony Mowbray, and I came in at a time, and it was difficult, if I'm honest. It's the only club where I've not enjoyed working, and it's just a feeling. And listen, it's I think everybody that was involved in it went into it with the right intentions, but it wasn't the right fit. I was a bit perplexed coming in from the outside because the Sunderland, the people that made the decision to bring me in, they have to consider all of that, you know, and they were very keen for me to come in. I went in with all the intentions of working with the staff that I had there, but to bring one of my own in as well. So I've learned a lot from that experience. It hurt, that one. That's the only one that really hurt, because there's only so much one person can do in 8 weeks. There were some things I could have done better, but the environment that I went into in terms of the fans being unhappy, it was difficult. It's not how you would want to go into a football club for sure, and 8 weeks is short, but at the same time, I still think it was best for all parties that we didn't prolong, because I'm not sure things would have gone the way anybody wanted.
Everything that you see on this channel, from the scripts to the interviews to the thumbnails, etc., is all off my own back. And to help the channel grow and to help me out, could you please click the subscribe button down below? It's absolutely free to do, and the more subscribers we get on this channel, the bigger the guests and the bigger the entertainment is for you to have some great insights to explore some of the things that are happening within the sporting world. So please click the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. How do managers and coaches deal with that pressure from fans? You know, we mentioned Rangers, a big, massive fan base, and then obviously Sunderland itself, very intense North East football club. How do you deal with that in terms of, you know, trying to switch off and try and focus? And you mentioned that the linger of Tony Mowbray previously. How do you cope with that as a manager? Can you give some insight on what you do to maybe stay focused?
Yeah, look, if I speak about the Sunderland one, about 4 weeks in, you know, I had a lot of family stuff going on as well that we've touched on. So it wasn't easy living down in the North East with my family in Glasgow, and we have a situation going on in London. So that was also in the background as well. So it wasn't a pleasant experience for myself at a time where I'm getting to know new staff that I haven't worked with before. The players were fantastic. I think they have an excellent squad. I still think they're a striker away from achieving what they want to achieve, but I met a lot of good people, Christy, at Sunderland, and obviously the fans did a huge thing for my niece where they applauded, which I wasn't expecting, didn't know was happening, and they really showed a warmth in that. And there's a difference between social media and people you meet in person. You know, there's a social media reality and there's reality of people you meet. And still now living in Glasgow, I meet a lot of Rangers fans and talk to them openly as a fan now, like they are, about the club and feel the warmth. And my whole time in Sunderland wasn't spent 8 weeks with people shouting at me in the street and stuff like that. It wasn't like that. So you detach yourself from the media side of things. It's not a part of football that I definitely enjoy. It's part of that comes with the job. And so, no, look, when there's criticism, it's your family and your friends that see it more than you. And sometimes they bring weird conversations to you. You know, are you okay? Like that sort of thing, because they're seeing it and you're just getting on with your daily job. I try to focus on the positivity of the players and the staff that you're working with. And I have to say, in my time at Sunderland, I thought that the staff that I worked with and the players were excellent. And the same with Rangers. I never fell out with anybody in either club, which is good. And again, I wish Sunderland well. I think the Sunderland fans are just desperate for success. You're talking about two massive clubs. Rangers 52,000. Sunderland had the biggest attendance in the Championship. I felt that the results when I was there and the performances, we were just a striker short. You know, I remember going away to Ipswich, who have done great things. We're winning 1-0. They equalised a bit of a fortuitous goal, and then we have a couple of chances, big chances to win that game, and then concede on a set play. And so the margins were so small. It's such a young squad. The average age of getting out of the Championship was 29. Well, our squad's average age was about 23, 24. And my first game I went in, we lost Huggins, who was really important to us, a fullback. We already had Sirkin and Lise injured. And then we lost Pat Roberts in the second game at Rotherham. So a lot of what made Sunderland so entertaining was lost. But listen, it's put to it's to the past now. And again, I wish the new coach there well. I think after that, they had a really difficult run to the end of the season where they won 2 in 16 games. So I think that the club and the owner are more aware of what the team needs. And if between now and the end of the window they can get a striker, I expect them to go close to the playoffs this year.
On reflection of everything you've spoken about, well, we've spoken about today, what's the next steps for Michael Beale? Is there anything that you've got your eyes set on in terms of what you want to achieve? You mentioned being abroad, but also, you know, your personal circumstances where you want to be close to your family. And I'm just interested in what the next steps might be for you as a coach.
Well, look, I always said at some point I want to return to be a head of youth when I've got a few more grey hairs. But my big aim is to find a project that I can be really excited with, that and get my teeth into. Like the plan originally at QPR was to stay for as long as possible and really cut my teeth as a manager. Now, life comes at you fast, and you have an offer from the Premier League and then a club that you absolutely love and your family live, and the chance to play in Europe, you go. So I've not spent that period of time that I want at one club to build. So that's an opportunity that I'm looking for. But also, I really want to work abroad. You know, my big passion for football is my own self-journey and learning and working with players. It's not chasing fame or chasing any accolades or outside pats on the back, if you like. I really want to travel and learn more about the game. The period that I had in Brazil for learning and for what it gave me in terms of fulfillment was the biggest that I've had. So I would really like to go and work in Asia one day. I'm not so keen on the Middle East right now. I've had an opportunity to go there. It's not one that interests me, but Asia certainly, because I'm fascinated with the culture and the way that they live and learning that and their thoughts on football. And I want to go and work in some European countries. So really, I feel like I've just got started. You know, like the journey that I've had from now, if I stop and look at it, there's a lot of things to be happy about. There's some things to naturally along that way, there's going to be disappointments. If you're in football for 20 plus years and you've only had 1 or 2 disappointments, and I think you're fortunate, the positive far outweighs the negative. And we'll see, Christy, like watch this space. I certainly want to go and try something and challenge myself in a second language sooner rather than later.